You're also spelling her name wrong. It's spelled like that.
Time to switch up games.
And yes, it is pronounced Fakta. The U is silent.
That's a lot of no's.
You also have similar things you do. I mean, I suppose.
Ah. Nothing's more interesting and Hang on, I'm Sarah in the game now.
Are you?
No, take a look in the Discord now. I just switched games, that's why. Now I gotta change the name of it. Wow, really, Celtro?
See the game, hold up.
No, I was reading what
Hmm?
I was reading what Celtro said about you.
Oh. Yeah, what was he saying?
Read it.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Hmm. Ah. Well, I just got off of hell diving. So, shall we continue our half of Mischief Monday with the visual novel?
I suppose.
Yes, I count the Ace Attorney style games visual novels. Let's be real here.
I mean, it's a visual novel.
Yeah.
It counts as a visual novel.
Yeah.
What did you think about the second picture that I sent you of Mitty?
It looked kind of capybara-ish, I'm not going to lie.
I guess, kinda.
It's because of I didn't really see a full picture of the guy underneath.
I mean, that girl is not underneath.
Huh.
There's two different characters, Mitty and then the girl.
Ah.
They have no back legs. They're just like worm-like in the back end.
That makes sense.
And they're also missing an eyeball.
All right. So,
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what happened last time that wasn't just us laughing at Steelwind, being worse than you trying to hit on Owen.
I suppose. I don't act like that, but also our titular co-lawyer here, our mercenary, being all like, I can't think of anything else other than being Steelwind.
Why is it always Steelwind's the first thing she goes to?
No idea.
That's actually what I just realized something. Technically, you're basically the attorney and I'm the mercenary, and yet we're playing the reverse roles when we think about it.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, we're in court now, so I better get my ponytail up.
How late do you plan on streaming?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably till the court is done. Why? You're pretty tired?
Oh, I'm just asking.
We usually end around 10 or 11. Used to be 11, but we didn't get much done because we started at 9:30. But we get more done now.
Yeah.
All right. Now then. Court is now resumed for the trial of Stefanik Dragogen. Let us review the proceedings from the last 2 days. At first, the facts of the case seemed pretty straightforward. The victim, Justin Way, put his weight on a poorly maintained guardrail on the refinery grounds. Said guardrail broke, causing Justin Way to fall to his death. However, the defense presented a shocking piece of evidence in the previous proceedings. Traces of transmutation magic was found on the same broken guardrail. This new evidence implies sabotage, if not foul play. played a part in the death of the victim. The evidence is also accompanied by conflicting testimonies from witnesses. All of these elements have thrown quite some doubt into the validity of the prosecution's case.
Yes, however, the prosecution maintains that the Dracogen Trading Company is at fault for Justin Wayne's death.
Even though someone may have sabotaged the guardrails?
The prosecution acknowledges that the sabotage may have occurred at the scene of the accident. However, we also believe that there are several factors in this case that the court is overlooking.
You know, it's fun. You know what would be funny? A helldiver attorney. Why, you don't think it'll be funny? A helldiver just got off a mission and he hell dives right into the courtroom and then is like comes out in a suit like that?
I don't know if I'd call it funny.
I don't know. Chat, anyone who's still here from the Helldivers, you think it'd be funny as hell? Actually, let me rephrase that. You think we should wear like suits on a Helldive mission? That'd be funny.
I mean, you just get blood and guts all over it.
We already got blood and guts on everything. We're just looking cool while doing it.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You'd get blood and guts. I also... Suits tend to be more restraining on your movement, so it wouldn't be wise.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just me thinking too much.
Yeah.
As we know, several witnesses were presented at the refinery at the time of the accident. The harbor master was showing Patron around the refinery. Masarika Tudor was making food delivery and entered the building. And of course the victim, Justin Wayne, was obviously present as well. Each and every one of these people had no business being in the refinery that night.
Does that include your fiance, Steelwind?
That's what you talked about, Patron.
I know. In the case of Harbor Master and his patron, it would be hardly reasonable for anyone to stop them. You doubt anyone would stand in the way of the Crown Prince.
That may be, but Justin Wayne worked in the freight division and should not have been at the scene.
I've already verified with my client. The victim was not authorized to be in a refinery building.
Yes. And who stopped John Wayne from entering the area unauthorized? Isn't the defendant's duty to prevent such individuals from entering the building?
My client can't be held responsible for Justin's breach of set protocols. And you surely can't hold my clients responsible for someone sabotaging the guardrail.
This so-called sabotage is only theoretical until a proper culprit is found.
I might be compelled to agree with you, Miss Steelwind. After all, there's no hard evidence that proves the traces of transmutation were left by a specific spell.
What kind of mental gymnastics is that? Every part of the guardrail had traces on it that was rusted.
They're bent in the context of what happened to suit their purposes. Hard evidence means everything here, and the rod of mending has been reduced to shreds in the vat. Without the complete rod, you can't prove that someone used it to sabotage the guardrail.
Regardless, it is not the responsibility of Dracogen Trading Company to ensure the employees do not wander into restricted areas. Blaming the potential saboteur puts the cart before the horse. This doesn't stop with Justin Wayne either. Why was Mosoriko Tudor able to enter the building? She doesn't even work in the refinery, yet she was able to waltz into the building without any trouble.
Actually, Stillwind does have a point about Rika. Shouldn't someone have stopped her from entering the area? You thought the Draco Gym would show that kind of negligence. It is true. I believe that we should hear from Miss Tudor directly. Does this game have music? It should be playing. Let me check something. I mean, we were able to hear it from Helldivers, so I don't know why it's not working here. Give me a second, Ren. I'm just trying to figure this out. Maybe it's quiet. You can hear Rena just fine, right? Might be the game. Better? Yeah, I just had to turn the game up a bit. It was quiet. Alright, Rena, say something.
Cracker Jacks.
Alright, do you have any for me?
No, I hate them.
Then why'd you say Cracker Jacks?
That's just my go-to.
You couldn't even go for like the generic something response?
Nope. That's my generic response, Cracker Jacks.
Ah. Let's hear how easily she gained access to the refinery on the day of the accident.
We've already anticipated that.
I either get...
Mosoriko Tudor is prepared and ready to testify.
So basically, I either get you saying Cracker Jacks or penis, huh?
I mean, specifically if they're trying to confirm if my vocals are working, I say Cracker Jacks.
Ah. Very well then.
I mean, if I feel like I'm being a little bit rowdy, I say penis.
Bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the stand.
Miss Tudor, are you aware of why you've been called here today? Yeah, I heard everything from the gallery. Then you'll have no problem answering the following question. Did you encounter resistance when you entered the refinery the night of the accident? Witness, may I remind you that you're under oath to tell the court everything that you know. Failure to do so is a crime. No one's tried to stop me. Sorry, Taryn. You have nothing to apologize for, witness. The only one was at fault is Draco Gin Trading Company and their negligence. Okay, that's... For the record, please testify in detail how you entered the refinery that day. Okay. That day I was looking for Justin in the freight area, but couldn't find him. I decided to look for him in the refinery's main building. There's some kind of magical door leading to it, but it was unlocked. Nothing really stopped me from entering the refinery building. As the court concluded to see, there was no safeguards preventing the witness from entering that restricted area.
The witness clearly stated that there was a magical door leading into the building. That was obviously some sort of security door powered by artificery.
Which was still unlocked and effectively useless.
That's sadly a good point. You can have all the security in the world, but if you don't close the fucking door, you're kind of, you know, useless. Damn it, there must be a way to prove that the unlocked door wasn't Dracogen's fault. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Alright, chat. So, main thing I want to figure out is that damn door. By magical door, do you mean that it was a door powered by artificery?
Yeah, I have that kind of door like it in my restaurant too. But this one looks a lot more complex.
Why would you or Dracogen need magical doors anyway?
The one in my cafe magically locks the shop when I close it for the day. I guess the door to the refinery building was for the same thing.
You know your lips aren't moving?
No.
They're moving now. Try moving your lips again.
Why?
Okay, it seems to be working now. Could have been like a delay or something.
I mean, very possible.
But that means that there was a mechanism to keep out unauthorized personnel.
Which was effectively useless. The witness entered the refinery and encountered zero resistance. Furthermore, the Inquisition has already locked the specs for the door.
There we go. The only entrance to the refinery building is a door with an artificery lock. Magical keys can be used to unlock the door for 5 seconds. After these 5 seconds, the lock automatically closes the door and engages the lock. The lock can only be disabled by Stephanic Dracogen. The door can be physically prevented from closing, but this would trigger an alarm within the refinery security system.
Did you use a key to unlock the door on this tool?
Hey, Solus. Down dog. I mean down boy. Yeah, actually stick with down dog.
Damn.
What?
Damn, Zeltro.
That's the first thing it goes straight for.
Out of control.
Well, you don't have a squish biddies redeem here, so he can't squish them.
No, I didn't. As you can see from this report, Stephanic Dracogen was the only person capable of disabling the lock. I guess Mr. Drakenjin kept the door unlocked during work hours. This just means it's entirely Drakenjin's fault that the victim gained access to the building in the first place. But that's not what I meant to... But that is what you implied. Oh. Unless you can prove another person disabled the door.
You can't refute that statement yet, but you might be able to work with his new information. Regardless, please add that last statement to your testimony, witness.
Alright. I'm not repeating the line.
Neither. But I'm trying to think with the magical lock. The lock can only be disabled by Stephanic Dracogen, huh? That's not gonna be helpful. Hold on, let me read this one. A lot of these tools were present in the arcane refinery. Created the security system in the refinery. But I don't think we can present that just yet. That's quite the leap in logic. Rena?
The specs on the door state that the only lock can be disabled by Stephanic Dracogen. I was just repeating the same shit. Sorry, but I can't think of any other reason why it'd be disabled. I mean, I get it. Sometimes I forget the key to my shop. It becomes a real headache when I get locked out.
You suppose that makes sense, but why would Dracogen really do something like that? The lock is designed to be disabled only by Dracogen, but perhaps someone did something to bypass that. I feel like maybe it is that one I just pointed out. The Von Sanctus thing. It says, a lot of these tools are present in the arcane refinery. Von Sanctus Industries also created a security system to the refinery. What do you think?
I mean, then Von Sanctus would be able to fucking stop it.
Yeah.
Since he's the one who made it.
That's true. Objection! No. I can hear the music going. I fail to see how that proves anything. Yeah. That was about it. So,
I mean, that would make sense to me.
It would make sense, but remember, we're going through Ace Attorney logic, which means we're going to have to think more kangaroo. Wait, that sentence made no sense. Maybe we should keep pressing to see what other info we can get.
Possible.
You were there to deliver his dinner to him. Am I correct?
Yeah, he usually is in the freight area around that time. I was surprised when I didn't see him there. I was a little worried, so...
That gave me nothing. Said I'd look for him in the refinery's main building. It seems strange that you go look for him. Why not just leave his food with one of his co-workers?
I thought of that, but I also wanted to make sure he was okay. I was the one that helped him get this job in the first place. Wouldn't be a good look if I left in the middle of. If he looked in the left in the middle of a shift. How did you enter the refinery building, Miss Tuber?
That would just like repeat everything. So let's. Nothing really stopped him. Are you sure you're not forgetting any obstacles that you encountered?
No, I would have remembered something like that. If somebody told me I wasn't supposed to be there, I would have just left.
She seems sincere about that. It was all probably an honest mistake.
Rika didn't realize that she entered a restricted area.
But the fact she was able to enter so easily is definitely strange. Dracogen must have had precautions to prevent such a thing from happening.
Maybe the employees got lazy and disabled the lock against his orders.
It's possible, but would Dracogen really allow something like that to happen? So there's clearly something we gotta try out. I feel like I'm repeating myself if I hit this again, but sometimes you've had to do that. By magical door, do you mean powered by artificery? Yeah, it's a repeat of what happened. Hmm. What are you thinking?
Not sure.
Huh. Maybe I missed something, but how does she know to go? That's actually a good question. No, wait. Celtro may have a point. Rena, what about this one? Remember the meeting? Justin's.
Oh wait, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. He was on his way to the scheduled meeting with Dracogen, but Dracogen never mentioned the meeting. But isn't the main thing we're looking for is how the door might have opened?
Yeah, but I wouldn't discount that being a thing either.
Yeah. The meeting? Maybe that? Objection! No. I hear the music again. Something is missing. We're not missing it. Rika didn't even realize she entered a restricted area. So we know that. I think we gotta focus on figuring out how this thing could have gotten disabled to begin with. Alright, what are you thinking? That's my assistant. You there?
Yeah, I'm just thinking. Nothing's really coming to mind.
Thing is, we just pressed everything, so.
I mean, it's got to be about presenting something. That's for sure.
Yeah. The meeting wouldn't work. And it says that. And we tried this, but it didn't work either. It says magical keys can be used to unlock the door for 5 seconds. After these 5 seconds, the door could be physically prevented from closing, but this would trigger an alarm in the refinery security system. Something we're missing. We're missing something, all right. The lock could be only disabled by Dracogen. The door can physically be prevented, but this would trigger an alarm in the systems. Wait, what about this? Justin owned a set of lockpicking or safe cracking tools that could be disabled, mundane, and magical locks. Rena?
I mean, yeah, that would work, right? Because the magical locks.
Yeah, maybe? That was it. Miss Steelwind, you claimed that my client expressed negligence by disabling the door. This is the reason why the security door was unlocked and why the current witness was able to enter the building.
That's correct. Your client's negligence was allowed authorized persons to, like, Justin Wayne to gain access to the building. He worked there. And regardless of any sabotage, Justin Wayne died because he was in said unauthorized area.
And what if I told you that another person may have disabled the door? Not because of laziness, but for more nefarious purposes.
What are you talking about?
If you recall, the witness entered the refinery building and spotted Justin Way afterward. That means that Justin Way entered the building before her. So that begs the question, how did Justin Way enter the building?
The answer is obvious. He entered the same way that the witness did through the unlocked door.
Not quite, Miss Steelwind. Since the trial began, we haven't answered why Justin Way entered the refinery building in the first place. He entered the refinery building with the intention of robbing a client's personal safe.
I already told you, Tyrion. You would never do something like that.
You feel a little guilty about insulting a dead man's name like this. But it's the only possibility that makes sense. I'm sorry, Rika, but there are things about Justin that even you didn't know. The truth is that he was deeply in debt with a crime lord named Eye Taker, and he was extremely desperate to wipe the debt as soon as he could.
Crime lord.
It's even got steel when shaken.
I would ask you how you came across this information, Cuthbert. But what does that have to do with the disabled magic lock?
Miss Steelwind, just to know the set of tools that he used for picking mundane and magical locks. The safe that he was planning to rob was located in my client's office within the refinery building. I have witness who saw Justin retrieve those tools shortly before the night of the accident. He clearly had a plan to disable any magic lock that stood before him in the safe. That means that it's entirely possible that Justin disabled the locked refinery door illegally.
You're not actually going to bring them in, are we?
Okay, Steelwind. Yeah, I'm kind of bluffing right now. You basically assaulted one of them.
What assaulted him, Tyrion?
She says that as if it absolves her of any guilt.
Oh, hold on a minute. You can't just accuse him like that one. Can't he defend himself?
I'm sorry, Rika, but his delinquent friends told me about his plans. He didn't want to rob Dracogin, but he needed the gold to wipe away his debt. If Justin wasn't the one who disabled the lock, that would only leave Dracogin.
There has to be an explanation where neither of them is guilty.
She definitely believes in Justin, but a scenario where both Justin and Dracogin are innocent is too optimistic, if not impossible. But it's not as if you're entirely certain of what actually happened that day either. Alright, Rika. You knew Justin better than I did. Let's assume that you're correct. Neither Justin or Dracogin disabled the locks that day. How did either of you enter the refinery then?
Well, someone must have disabled it before then. Wait, let me get through this. Plenty of people could have disabled locks. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it.
Doubt it.
There's also the nobleman that was with Mr. Morrison. He's a mage, and he could have used magic to do it. Could have been also that one of the maintenance constructs I saw working on the machines. Maybe one of them broke the lock. I can barely even begin to point out all the issues with your theories, Miss Tooth. If you recall, the entrance lock can only be disabled by Stefanik Dracogin. Even Mr. Cuthbert theories make more sense than your list of suspects.
Ugh, she's right. It doesn't matter how many suspects she presents. None of them had the credentials to disable the lock. So why do you feel like there's something else wrong with her testimony? The defense would still like to exercise the right to cross-examine the witness.
What a waste of time.
While the court agrees with Ms. Steelwind, we also recognize Mr. Cuthbert's right to cross-examine. However, I will not allow the defense to waste the court's time. If nothing substantial is gained from your cross-examination, I will not hesitate to end it early. So, there was a lot wrong with her list of suspects, and I can actually go through them easily. Maybe one of the employees got lazy and forcefully broke it. Problem number one, it says that the door can be physically prevented from closing, but this would trigger an alarm refinery system.
Yep.
There's also the nobleman that's with the Morrison. I highly doubt this guy did anything, especially when his move is conjuration.
Yeah, very unlikely.
Could also have been one of the maintenance constructs. That is still very highly doubtful, considering we know how limited they are.
They're extremely limited in what they can do.
Yeah. So, maybe we should just press and go through to see what the hell happens. Steelwind, did the Inquisition find any evidence of physical tampering on the entrance lock?
Not at all. Furthermore, if our employee had attempted that, the witness describing would have set off the refinery security system.
Sorry, Rika. The nobleman, doubt it.
The Harbormaster's companion would have no reason to do perform such an act.
Your personal bias may be clouding your judgment, Miss Steelwind. You know what the funny...
This isn't merely an extrapolation based off of his character, Mr. Cuthbert.
You know what would be funny as hell?
What?
If we actually did call down the prince as a suspect, and the whole time he's giddy as fuck about it. Like, oh, I get to be part of this case. I don't know how I'd feel about that. You saw how excited he was to be part of, like, us doing it, even when it was helping get info from that snooty fucker. But, again, I highly doubt it's that guy. What do you think?
I don't think it's him.
Nah.
The nobleman in question had the legal authority to enter the building. He wouldn't need to resort to such underhanded tactics.
Right. As a crown prince, he would legally enter the arcane refinery if he wanted to. In fact, that's probably how he entered in the first place.
You probably know that since you two seem close with each other.
Look, just because we're close doesn't mean we're going to give you that threesome you want. I had to make that joke, okay, Rena? Huh.
Is she jealous of her relationship with Aster?
Maybe it'd be best to avoid bringing up Aster with her. And the maintenance constructs, I highly doubt it. Maintenance constructs.
You know, these magically animated suits.
Oh, she must have seen an arcane construct while she was exploring the refinery. Ah.
Arcane constructs can only perform the actions that they're ordered to do. And a construct of the arcane refinery wouldn't take orders from their administrator, Stefanik Dracogen. Unless you want to imply that Stefanik Dracogen ordered the construct to break the lock.
May I remind the prosecution that the constructs are prone to error and misinterpretation of the orders. Perhaps the construct accidentally broke the lock while carrying out its usual orders.
The Inquisition found no evidence of physical tampering with the lock. if they had, the security system would have been alerted the moment this happened. I guess they have a lot of contradicting statements to work this time.
Yeah, I need to find a contradiction that's not so readily apparent. One is...
Aster wasn't telling people who he was.
That's true.
He was doing things on the lowdown.
Yeah. Big Stinky. Celtro's not here. It's just me. I doubt I'm Big Stinky. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm not here to sniff people.
No. You're just here to be the sex appeal so we get more viewers. Am I wrong?
I don't know. That's up to you to decide. You're the one who invited me here.
I'm not sure, but I can't help but feel like she said something that doesn't fit with what we know already. Ignore the list of suspects and focus on the other details. She observed a lot that day, so something must be off of her observation. Wait, how would she know that's a mage?
Absolutely not, Celtro. You just don't take enough baths.
The question is, how would she know that that's a mage? Run with that one?
Maybe.
But the question is, do we do the testimony or this guy? Let's start with this guy first. Objection! Nope, music's playing.
You're supposed to bathe me? God, you're a pain in the ass to bathe, okay? You just get all squirmily and wiggly, and then you always try to hump me, and I'm just like, God damn.
As I said before, Draco Jim was the only person able to legally disable the lock, and Justin Wei was the only person who had the skill to disable it illegally.
Micro crack spewing egg jizz all over the pot.
Okay,
Delicious.
Before you do something, you might want to put the egg in a simmer instead of a boil when you do that. Also, make sure you check the... You ever got like a flashlight? Like take your phone's flashlight and like shine it under an egg to see if you got any hidden cracks. Rena?
I've never heard of that.
You never like put a flashlight under an egg?
No. I've just throw it in the pot and boil. Like all the time.
You gently put them in the pot so they also don't crack like that.
Well, yeah, obviously. Like that, you don't just chuck them in there. That'd be stupid.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know that somebody else doesn't have tools like that?
That's certainly possible, but unlikely. The ability to pick a magical lock seems to be a rare skill for anyone to have. And as far as you know, no one else was unauthorized that day, except for maybe Aster and Morrison. Maybe the testimony? Because it is their testimony. No. Ah.
You're not doing great today.
No. How would she know that Aster's a mage to begin with?
I don't know.
Fucking hell.
Man, if only you had my time magic, right?
You won't let me use your time magic, remember?
That's what I'm saying. If only you had time magic.
You're just trying to rub it in my face, aren't you?
You know, just go back, fix the problem. Nobody knows it happened. Objection. No one with a slutty witch outfit is trustworthy. First of all, this is a traveler outfit. This is not a witch outfit. Have you even seen my witch outfit? Hmm? I have two.
Yeah, I'm not doing so hot today, so I'm trying to figure out what it is. But she says, well, I guess you have a lot of contradicting statements to work with this time. Yeah, I need to find a contradiction that's not readily apparent. One that's not apparent. So, yeah. What is not apparent? It's the constructs that's also bugging me. Fucking hell. Wait. I just realized something. Von Sanctus attempted to sell a few arcane constructs, a product that is not available anywhere else. However, Dragogen didn't trust them. There was no constructs if there weren't any there.
No, he has his own constructs, though.
Wait, that can't be right, can it? Rika, you said that you saw a maintenance construct inside a refinery building. Are you sure that it was an arcane construct? He made his own, but they weren't arcane constructs, remember? They're artificery constructs.
There are no time-traveling children. They don't exist, Seltzer, you liar. Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on them in the Von Sanctus catalogs. But they're not available to the public yet.
When you saw this arcane construct, what was it doing?
I'm not exactly sure. But it looked like it was doing maintenance on the machines.
I just thought of something, Rena.
Hmm?
What if it was an arcane construct? But he doesn't trust them, remember?
But he has his own arcane constructs, I think.
No, he has artificery constructs. Remember, his thing is an artificery kind of thing.
Mm.
The arcane is a different magic than artificery. And more importantly, the one she brought up was the Von Sanctus ones that she saw. Maintenance on the machines. But it shouldn't have been there in the first place. What was it doing there? And more importantly, who sent it there? Okay, so here's a little magic lesson, Marcy. Artificery and arcane is mostly different because artificery is basically the usage of magic materials to make things function, while arcane is basically using your own magic mana to make things happen. That didn't help at all, did it?
I mean, you're explaining that to Mark.
I don't think he's paying attention at this point. I think he's arguing with Celtro right now.
He responded.
Yeah, but it looks like he's responding to Celtro.
Remember.
We're gonna correct him.
I mean, I already said that the time traveling children doesn't exist.
You wanna read, Rena? Oh, I mispronounced your name. My bad. I'm bad at pronouncing names.
I didn't catch that at first. I'm responding to chat. Oh, it's Mark. Jorts. Okay.
Oh.
Mark. Get it right.
Okay. Now, would you lead your line?
Oh, where are you going with this, Mr. Cuthbert? As I've said before, an arcane construct owned by the defendant wouldn't have disabled the law.
Hydrate time. Oh, Rena?
Yes.
Do me a favor. Do me a favor and entertain chat while I both get water and use the bathroom.
Oh, okay. So you don't have water.
Yeah, I forgot I drank it up during the bot mission.
Damn.
Yeah. All right. I'll be right back.
Damn, I wish I can control my avatar.
Just entertain chat.
Yeah. So, did you guys hear that I am doing a charity this week for Gamers Outreach? It's called the VTuber Summer Slam. It's crazy. It's super good. It's going to be putting money towards providing gaming for children in hospitals. It's a really, really great event, and everyone should participate in it. So if you guys are interested and you aren't already following me, please go ahead and consider following me. Listen, okay, I will shamelessly plug my charity event all I want, alright? I want to do it. It's for the children, alright? It's for the children. For the children. Oh my god, Ghost. Damn. You're out of control. But yes, not in front of the children. Oh my god. No, but it's a really cool event. I am not streaming tomorrow because I am taking some time to rest and kind of get myself together for the charity event. And then I will be streaming from the 25th to the 29th. And we're gonna go for as long as need be. Oh god. They're all plugging each other in chat here. Or they're trying to plug me. One or the other. I don't know. It's all getting confusing. But yeah, you should absolutely join the charity event. I'm hoping we can earn some good money for the charity, Michael. I'll get plugged by you. Well, at least someone's different. Standing out on the crowd. But yeah. think peg is the right term. Also appropriate. But yeah, one of the things I was telling people is that I know that it's very tempting that the Steam Summer Sale is coming at the same time as the charity event, but it'd be really great if you guys could donate some money towards charity because it's a good cause. Aren't we talking about her plugging on ads? Yeah. Y'all crazy.
All right, hydrated.
People are excited.
Hydrated.
Good. Chug a lug.
Oh, you were plugging?
Oh,
Were you telling them to follow me so we can raise followers on YouTube?
Oh, I was talking about the charity event that I'm doing.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. I guess I'm a bit too horny. I must get donked. Oh boy.
Bonk.
I appreciate you guys coming over and watching,
Here we go. I agree, a construct owned by my client wouldn't have done that. But arcane constructs are extremely rare and not available to the general public yet. Furthermore, they are only produced and sold by Von Sanctus Industries. Lloyd Von Sanctus personally sold several products to Dragogen Trading Company. However, when offered the opportunity to purchase his arcane constructs, my client turned them down.
What?
My client disliked the construct's flawed intelligence. He didn't want them working in the refinery. He turned down Lord Von Sanctus' offer in favor of utilizing human labor.
Wait, then why did I see a construct there?
Exactly. If my client did not own any constructs, why did the witness see one there? Or to phrase this question differently, who sent the construct there?
Who? Why would anyone send a construct to the refinery?
First, let's consider the rarity of the arcane constructs. They are highly experimental and not available to the public yet. With all these elements in mind, only one person in the city of Honorix could have done this.
Oh, wait. You can't possibly mean...
I do, Miss Steelwind. Few individuals had access to the arcane construct, and even fewer had the ability to disable the locked door without alerting the security system. We both know who it is. Only one individual could have done everything that I described. Lloyd Von Sanctus, the noble lord of Honorex.
I prefer hard-boiled eggs over soft-boiled. But I do like my eggs over easy if I'm eating it on toast. You can't be serious. Are you accusing Lord Von Sanctus of illegally sending construct into the arcane refinery? Hi, boy. Hello, boy. What possible reason would he have to do that?
When Rika saw the construct, she said that it was working on the machines. But that construct was sent by Von Sanctus. It didn't actually work for Dracogen. Wait, could that mean... Rika, when you saw the construct in the refinery, was it carrying anything?
Yeah, actually. It was carrying a large cylindrical machine, and it looked pretty heavy.
Like it would normally need to be held by two people?
Yeah, how did you know?
It all makes sense now. Von Sanctus has been far too aggressive in pushing these charges. It wasn't because he was desperate to get rid of Dracogen. It was because he needed to cover up what actually happened. Mr. Cuthbert, where are you going with this? You see, Your Honor, the tool that the witness saw the construct carry wasn't just any tool. It was a rod of mending, an artificery tool that channels transmutation magic.
Transmutation magic? As in magic that could be used to weaken the sabotage pods of the refinery?
No, are you seriously accusing? Your Honor, Lloyd Von Sanctus sent the construct into the arcane refinery to sabotage it. In other words, Lloyd Von Sanctus is responsible for the guardrail breaking.
It didn't have to be Justin. It just happened to be Justin.
I think that's enough out of you, you upstart commoner.
marching onto the stand.
Legit question, where the fuck's the bailiff in this whole thing?
Yes, there is none.
Not even like a single knight just to hold down somebody? I feel like that's important at this point.
Yeah, it keeps happening.
I don't know, get a dog in front of there at this point. Let it bark at people. Yeah. To be fair, who's gonna stop a noble from the Pillar family? I've had enough of these blatant accusations. If you want to sleek mud at my name, you will do it to me directly.
Get Sultra to bark at him. Lord Von Sanctus, I would highly advise against doing this.
Please, do you think I'm like the fool Pierce? The defense theory is laughable, and I have several pieces of evidence that can easily prove my innocence.
No, he doesn't.
He has a good poker face, but the eye is telling you that he's a little desperate. But very well, the defense wishes to accuse you. I see no harm in allowing you to defend yourself. The court would be very much like to hear your testimony in the matter.
Alright, 1 second. I'll be right.
Alright, I'll have to entertain chat. Alright, chat, I'm desperate. I want you all to keep an eye on Rita's charity stream. And then after that, I want you all to give her all the support you have. Finally, I want you all to pet the nearest dog that you find. Make sure that it's a friendly dog. And give it a bone. Give it all the pets and give all the dogs the pets you have. Brush your dog, does that count? Somewhat. You still gotta give it all the head scratches. Give it all the scritches. That wasn't the bone I mean! No, that's exactly his phrasing. Then after this, follow me on my YouTube, because I am trying to grow my YouTube channel as heavy as I can. You know, I gotta test the theory. Alright, chat. I want you all to hit the subscribe button. Nope, no flashing? Yeah, that was a waste of time. I thought it was when you say hit the subscribe button, it's supposed to flash, but I don't see it flashing. Maybe it's something different. Whatever it is, it's probably something crazy. Ow. 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 And then after that, please don't hit the Celtro. The subscribe button. Yeah, I know. That's the one I'm testing out with like something else. I don't know how it works.
Why are we talking about boning Celtro?
I said pet the dog and give your dog a nice bone, and now they went to boning Celtro.
I mean, valid. Who wouldn't want to?
I was just talking about giving your dog a bone. Like, giving a dog a pets. Because, like, on my off times, I just, for some reason, watch videos of puppies and dogs. They're cute.
Why are we talking about the flashing subscribe button?
Oh, that's because I was trying to show my YouTube channel, and I said that... And for some reason, I keep seeing that if you say subscribe in the video, the subscribe button flashes, but it doesn't happen on mine, so I don't know. You never seen that?
I have.
Yeah, so I thought I'd test it out, but I don't think it was working.
It might only work for non-live streamed ones.
That would make sense. Yeah, what you gonna do?
I like bones and boning. Really gets me both. Give shelter bone in the same time bones shelter. Damn.
It is possible to order a construct to complete a complex list of tasks, but doing so is ill-advised. I'm sure you observed this with the Nightgrave trial. Constructs are extremely prone to error when completing a long list of tasks. Not loud enough. We need more yelling. According to the defense, the saboteur stole a rod of bending and used it to sabotage very specific sections of the refinery. I wonder never trust a construct to discreetly complete such an intricate task unsupervised. And before you ask, I was miles away from the refinery at the time of the accident. I have several associates who can confirm the alibi. Therefore, I have no way of observing the construct from afar, nor did I have any way to communicate with it. That's a load. No, there's a spell. We know that already, remember? The fanboy? I mean the prince? Actually, no, the fanboy's more accurate at this point.
Yeah, there's a fanboy.
Yeah. The Nightgrave trial revealed the risk of ordering a construct to commit a crime. But nevertheless, Rika saw a construct refinery that day, and that's indisputable. He definitely gave the construct a plastic lisk, and that raises one question. How did he account for the construct's error-prone logic? Oh, we already know the answer. Remember this spell? Von Sanctus, you're testified that you have no way to observe and communicate with the construct. Am I correct? Yes. I was at the meeting at the Steel Wind for the entire day. Anyone that could have testified that fact. I'm not disputing your so-called alibi. It's not as airtight as you think, though.
Well, what are you talking about? I was there at the meeting, Mr. Cuthbert. Lord Von Sanctus may have been absent in mind, but he was there physically.
Uh-oh. Absent in mind, so his attention wasn't focused on the meeting. Which means that his attention was somewhere else. I suppose you're correct, Miss Steelwind, but I still have one question for you, Lord Von Sanctus. Paul, and what would that be? Are you able to cast Send Message spell? I'll take that as a yes.
What?
Miss Steelwind, your client may have been physically at the meeting, but his attention was somewhere else, wasn't it? He could have used a combination of spells to view the construct during this meeting, and he could have used Send Message the spell to communicate with it over large distance. If my claim is truly false, your client should have no trouble disproving it with his spell compendium. Well...
Well, he's not happy about that. Von Sanctus.
You appear to be hesitating, Von Sanctus. May I assume that you do know how to spell Send Message? If so, that would punch a gigantic hole in your alibi. Steelwind, you were there, weren't you? My attention was fully there. I needed a cover for me. The idea that I was communicating with a construct is absurd.
You ain't gonna cover your ass. We have Ace Attorney at home, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, let's be real. Steelwind definitely wouldn't cover for your ass at this point.
I'm afraid I can't say that, Lord Von Sanctus.
Steelwind?
I did find it odd. Your function appeared to be elsewhere, despite the gravity of our discussion. And I seem to recall you speaking under your breath the entire time. I always assumed you were muttering obscenities. But Mr. Cuthbert's explanation does seem possible.
What are you saying? Aren't you obligated to defend me?
I'm obligated to represent you the best of my ability.
I would say kind of yes, kind of no. She doesn't have that heated rivalry with, like, our character.
She also isn't one to do undermine tactics and actually has helped us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Edgeworth took a while to do that.
Yeah. It's just that she comes from a noble family, so she talks like Edgeworth, but that's the most I can say at that point.
I'm not obligated to forge an alibi for you.
You little... Lord Von Sanctus, I'm afraid the court needs to answer. Are you able to cast send message? Fine, I admit it, okay? I am able to cast send message. But that still doesn't prove anything.
He's not sure.
His voice portrays a hint of desperation. You have him right where you want him. Now is our opportunity to deal the final blow. So why do you feel so uneasy? There are still 2 details that still don't sit well with you.
The fact that they saw 2 people.
Yeah. We can saw Justin fall over the guardrail even though Von Sanctus sabotaged it. Luckily, he didn't need to prove that the second person existed, but not having an explanation for Aster and Morrison's testimony still irks you. However, even if it's not a clean ending, there's only one way forward, and that's revealing Von Sanctus for the petty saboteur that he is. Let's see this fucker's argument. Why did you hesitate so long to answer my question, Von Sanctus? You know very well why I hesitated. Why would I willingly give you evidence? You clearly intended to use it against me. Regardless, this entirely disproves your alibi. You could have communicated with your construct at the meeting. By that logic, I could have masterminded behind every crime in our ranks. I may have had the means to communicate his crime, but there are plenty of other individuals that could have sent the arcane construct. No?
Not many people have access to the constructs.
Exactly. Von Sanctus, you of all people should know that the arcane constructs are not available to the public. When you attempted to sell those constructs to Dracogen, you promised him that he would be the first merchant in Onyrex to own that piece. Since he refused your offer, that would leave you the only owner of arcane constructs in Onyrex. That's... Well, I admit I may have not been truthful when I made my sales pitch. So you're saying that you lied to my client? Oh, please. Every good businessman knows how to embellish the truth when he's making a sale. The truth is that I've sold those constructs to plenty of other individuals in Onyrex. Use the claim against the contradict to see. Yeah, this is against it.
You did not.
Frankly, Von Sanctus, I find that hard to believe. After the Nightgrave trial, you must have been a lot more fearful about who you sold the constructs to. You only tried to sell your constructs to Dracogen so you could control them. You wouldn't have done that otherwise. Is that so? Then why don't you prove it? No, Von Sanctus, why don't you prove your statement? Show us any invoice that proves you made a sale to someone in Onyrex.
Have it.
Well, who says that the saboteur lived in Onyrex when I made the sale? Are you serious? Onyrex is a trading hub. Plenty of people come and go from the city. Any one of my customers could have secretly entered to carry out the saboteur. Nope. Von Sanctus, You might have been right under any other circumstance, but the Kingsguard locked down the city on the day that the accident occurred. No one except a few select individuals could have entered or left the city. And due to the gravity of the situation, the Kingsguard created profiles of everyone within the city. Why don't we cross-reference the records taken by the Kingsguard to the list of individuals you could have sold the constructs to? But I suppose from your reaction, that list would come up empty. So why don't you admit to your crimes, Von Sanctus? Or do I have to drag the evidence into the court myself? What? Wait, drag the evidence? Of course, how could I forget? What? Why don't we go ahead and do that, Mr. Cuthbert? Bring in your so-called evidence. Huh?
He probably erased the log.
Yeah. I don't know what your conference is coming from, but we can easily detect the traces of divination and transmutation on the constructs you own. Assuming that the construct still exists, that is. What? Wait, that's right. If he used the construct to commit a crime like this, he would have definitely disposed of it by now. Even within the blockade on Arx's gigantic city. With his resources, he could have hidden it anywhere in the city. It would have needed hidden in the town of Haystacks. We still have the testimony of Master Tutor, and I'm sure many other people saw the construct walking around the refinery. The common folk can hardly be trusted to recognize complex artificery. Without the actual construct, all you have is several unreliable witnesses. Tell me, Lady Steelwood, can I be convicted of serious crime with such evidence?
No, I suppose not.
Damn it! Is he seriously going to get away with this? No, you still have one card up your sleeve. If you could just find out where he disposed of the evidence, you might be able to direct the Inquisition there. Come on, focus on them thoughts. Activate the empowered eye. You're undignified glaring will do you no favors. What? Why isn't it working?
The Eye of Horus is a powerful tool, Tyrion. But that's twice now that you've used the empowered eye to get out of a corner. If you keep relying on that one trick, you'll never grow as an attorney. One day, you'll find a witness that the empowered eye won't work on.
Miss Tamora was right. You've been relying on the empowered eye too much. From your silence, I assume that you have no way to rebuke my claim. I suppose that makes it checkmate, you upstart commoner. Honestly, I can't believe you resort to accusing me of manslaughter. What a crass and unhunted tactic. But I suppose I wouldn't expect anything less from a charlatan not you. Damn it.
What the hell are you doing?
What?
That look in your face. Are you seriously giving up?
I've
seen you get out of plenty of situations like this. So are you giving up this time?
Sorry, Celeste, but I can't use my usual strategies. There's no way to find evidence that we need.
Seriously? There's always a way, Tyrion. If our usual strategies aren't working, then we need to do something different.
She's right. You don't need to see directly into his mind to utilize your skills as an attorney. You may not be able to rely on the Eye of Horus this time, but you'll always be able to rely on deductive reasoning. Well, it seems that you have no further questions for me, and you clearly don't have a shred of physical evidence to support your claims. I think I will be taking my leave. I'm not quite done with you yet, Von Sanctus! Honestly, your desperation is almost pitiful. You should really learn to lose with dignity, Mr. Cuthbert. He's the last person you want to hear from that. Calm your mind and focus. You may not be able to read Von Sanctus' mind in the literal sense, but you can still extrapolate his plan and his actions. Let's explore my theory a little more and see for ourselves that there's no physical evidence. If you wanted to use a construct, you would have needed to maintain constant communication. So to prove that the communication occurred, we need something that connects you to it. Send message can normally only target a person, but arcane constructs probably don't count as people for that purpose as a spell. What piece of evidence would that leave behind? The object that Lloyd Von Sanctus attuned to. An arcane construct isn't a person, so you must have used an object to attune your magic to communicate with it. Miss Steelwind, if we were able to find that object, would you tie that client to the sabotage?
Hypothetically, yes. The Inquisition has divination magic, and they can use it to detect an object as attuned to a specific mage.
Good luck finding such evidence. If I did perform these acts, the remains would probably be anywhere in Anorax. I'm not so sure about that, Von Sanctus. Let's look at the things from your perspective. Why would you do things that you did that day, knowing that you will point us to where you ultimately hid the construct? Your intention was to sabotage the refinery without anyone finding out you did. So how would you dispose of the construct and the tuned item? You needed to hide or destroy it so no one would be able to find it.
In the
Wait.
map.
Yeah, destroy. The evidence was thrown into the vat of volatile. You used the vat of volatile liquid. Uh-oh. You suppose that makes sense. You found the remnants of the rod of mending in there, too.
But wouldn't that mean the object is fully dissolved?
Exactly. There would be no physical evidence for you to find. That's not necessarily true. You threw the rod of mending into the vat, and that didn't fully dissolve. What? The workers neutralized the liquid immediately after Justin fell into the vat. What? Neutralizing the liquid would have rendered it unsalvageable and useless. Doing that would have cost Dragogen a small fortune. Unlike you, Von Sanctus, my client values the lives of his workers over his profits. And because of that, the Inquisition was able to find a piece of bone matter and metal within the vat. Wait, the rod didn't fully dissolve. That means that this was thrown into the vat around the same time as Justin fell into the... You wouldn't have thrown the rod into the vat after you've done with your sabotage. And if you wanted to destroy the rod, you would have destroyed all of the evidence that you needed to get rid of. Is there anything that...
Okay.
The construct, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would have also destroyed the arcane construct itself. That's ridiculous. Lady Steelwind, why aren't you...
I told you before, didn't I? I will defend you to the best of my ability, but I will not fabricate any alibi for you.
You must have ordered the construct to throw itself into the vat and hide any traces of your sabotage. A machine resembling a human threw itself into the vat. That means that anyone looking at the hallway would have seen this. That's it! The arcane construct was the second person that Aster and Morrison saw fall into the vat. That's why we didn't find any organic matter from anyone other than Justin there. The second body that Aster and Morrison saw was the actual arcane construct. How are you? Wait, Rika, you was sure that she saw Justin fall on the walkway. After she notified Aster and Morrison, they saw the construct break the guardrail and fall into the vat. Wouldn't that mean that the construct disposed of itself after Justin fell on the walkway? Why would you order it to do that? Because it never happened. Your logic is flawed. He's getting stressed out. Maybe you should try using the empowered eye. No, you don't need it this time. You're so close to figuring this out. You can feel it. So think, if he was...
She's not a defense attorney, she's a prosecutor.
Yeah. If he was observing the construct using magic, he must have seen Justin fall, and for some reason, he reacted by sabotaging the guardrail. Why would he ignore seeing that happen? Unless he did all this because he saw Justin fall.
He wanted somebody to see.
To look like an accident.
Uh-huh.
No. That wasn't it. Send a message?
Mm-mm.
Doubt it. To make the sabotage look like an accident. No, that's not it. Von Sanctus wanted the sabotage to send a message? I doubt it. the broken guardrail to look like an accident. No, he wanted Justin's death to look like an accident. It's because you wanted it to look like an accident. No, we knew it was Von Sanctus, but it was the other parts I was having trouble with. Which means that it wasn't actually an accident. Oh, now you're accusing me of intentionally murdering the victim? Why would I ever do that? You said it yourself. My goal was to sabotage. Committing murder would have brought unnecessary attention to what I've done. But those constructs do have a habit of shoving people that are in their way. What if the construct pushed Justin out of the way, causing him to fall over the edge of the guardrail? He's figured out everything for happened just from a few clues? Gotcha, bitch. Hey, I didn't see you there. I was just, You just walk past him. Acknowledge. What? Hey, watch it. Quit shoving me. Wait, whoa. Holy crap. Pull me up, pull me up. I can't hold on for much longer. You idiot. What are you doing? What? Grab his arm and pull him up. Acknowledge. Ah, my hand. What the hell are you doing? Your grip is too tight. Stop that. Acknowledge. Ooh. Wait, I can still. It may have been unintentional, but either way, you would have been at fault for Justin's death, not my client. If the construct fell in after Justin, your tuned object must be somewhere in the neutralized liquid. No, it's even better than that. Constructs are made from a specific magically alloy, aren't they? I'm sure that a few divination spells we can identify the metal shards from the construct in your arcane focus. Each and every one of those pieces are evidence pointed directly at you, Von Sanctus. You petulant little upstart. And that's checkmate, Von Sanctus. Why don't you save us all a little time, Von Sanctus? Admit to what you did. And while you're at it, drop your false allegations against my client. I have nothing to admit to, nor do I have anything to apologize for. Of course not. You're completely blameless, right? Do you think you've achieved victory here? No. Dissidents like you and Dracogen are absolutely deluded. Each and every breath you take only throws Weavengard further into chaos.
I was an orphan ghost. I got picked. My heart. You talk about these commoners as if they even have freshman power that you have.
Lady Steelwind, you need to see reason. They lack awareness of the power they truly have. What? These people have infected you and His Majesty with those idealistic delusions.
Honestly, she's hot and she can step in her.
Implore you. I implore both of you to see the reality for what it is. No, Von Sanctus. The true reality is that people like you become threatened when we challenge your power. You all speak about the rights of the individual. Alright, try to say something now.
Cracker Jacks?
Alright. You speak as if each and every one of you won't stab each other in the back the moment that it benefits yourselves. You may hate the nobility. You may curse and scream and blame us for all your little problems. But the truth is that you need us. You need us to direct and lead you. You need us to...
Are you calling us sheeple?
That's what he is.
No, he's calling the commoners.
And you wonder why I hate people that call themselves nobility. Shit like this.
I mean, not all of them are like this.
You
could ask her.
Yeah, fair enough. You need us to maintain the fragile order that holds your peaceful little lives together. You talk about protecting the common folk from themselves. But the truth is that your actions lead to the death of an innocent man. That is the only truth that matters. The defense has no further questions for the witness. He is dismissed. Very well.
Tyron. If you're like 10, Brenna is now 5 when she was before 2.
Alright, Rena?
Sorry, my model maker was getting in touch with me, asking me a question.
Oh.
They're gonna be starting the model soonish.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And we even got another murder in the process.
Yeah, we couldn't get the case officially dismissed today. But it's pretty much inevitable that the evidence we brought in today... Actually, it probably won't even reach that point.
Yeah, Mark says I'm still too quiet.
Yeah, I've still been trying to figure that out with the Discord Act.
Which, what?
Do you know how to boost in OBS or do you know how to boost in Discord?
OBS. Okay, how about that, guys? Can you hear it now?
Cracker Jacks.
Alright, that's a yes.
Okay.
Actually,
Me on bushes.
Oh shit, she just blew my ear off.
Alright, I'll just
Wish
blow
I would blow something else off.
I'll just blow your back off later. But I got her echoing now. Let me try some advanced properties, some stuff. It's just like... Yeah, we'll work with what we got right now, okay? I'll have to figure it next stream. Yeah.
Wow.
Alright.
I don't know what you did.
Who knows? Anyway, you mind reading?
Actually, it probably wouldn't even reach that point. Oh god, now they're just licking my name.
Wow. Man, I wish they would give me this kind of love. Oh well.
You want random men licking you?
No, I want people following me.
I don't mind helping out, but yeah, it's bearable right now. I can actually hear her. Yay. I mean, you're getting people following you.
Yeah, it's a slow build.
And it happens like that sometimes. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Anyway, Rena.
I've advised Lord Sanctus to drop the suit entirely. Word is already spreading regarding the evidence that you brought forward. At this point, prolonging the trial was just to harm his public image even more. both held a case against him for Justin's death. About that, I'll probably be forced to recuse myself from any charges brought against him. What? Why? It's because you represented him in the suit, isn't it? Oh, that was you.
No, I was the defense attorney for the other one.
No. What she was saying was actually what he was saying.
Oh, okay. It'd be considered a conflict of interest to prosecute him yourself, even though you're probably the only prosecutor that would convict him successfully.
You're correct. As one of the head of the Pillar's families, it has the justice system dancing the palm of the hand. He will definitely be quietly and swiftly acquitted. I would have never agreed to represent him if I had known about this. I'm truly sorry.
Damn it. He must have had this plan all along.
No, is he seriously gonna get away with all of this?
I wouldn't be too sure about that. Dracogen? He may be acquitted in the legal sense, but the court of public opinion is a different thing entirely.
What do you mean?
You brought forward a myriad of evidence against him, and I'm sure everyone in the gallery saw it too. Von Sanctus' power relies on his public image, and you quite handily tore down that facade. He may have walked free, but his power and ideas have taken a great blow. But is that seriously all we could do? His actions of recklessness resulted in the death of Justin Way. He should be punished within the letter of the law.
You're not wrong, Mr. Cuthbert. But sometimes we must take the victories that we can get.
She's probably right. But there's still one thing that's nagging to me about it. Oh, and what's that? Why was your safe unlocked if nothing was stolen? If Justin had gotten into your safe, he would have taken your gold with him. It wouldn't still be there. Considering that nothing is missing, I'd rather leave it at that. Really? Justin was a good man. I'd rather not taint anyone's memory of him, especially Morisuka's. Right, she was probably upset about your accusation. Nothing was taken, so no harm was done in that regard. I suppose so. But I can't help but wonder what actually happened.
Maybe he had he had doubts, maybe. He was like, no, I can't do this, fam.
It is possible. It just makes no damn sense to me. The kid successfully robbed the guys days ago and no one saw him. No one even suspected him. But then he breaks into the place again? Also, he could put it back, the stolen gold?
Oh.
Does that make any sense to you, Iris?
Perhaps he felt remorseful for his actions, Father. Not everyone can betray the family that they love so easily. And if that is true, I feel like sense of tragic beauty to it all. If he had never tried to do the right thing, he would have never encountered the construct in the first place. He would have paid his debt and all would have still had his life.
It's true what they say. No good deed goes unpunished.
He's hot.
It's a shame about the gold, though.
I think we've more than made a profit today. I, for one, am happy to have claimed a boatload of tithes today.
Oh.
Ah.
She's weird.
Yeah. And with that, shall we call it for today?
I suppose so.
I actually didn't expect the trial to be that short, to be honest.
You never know.
Yeah. Because I think...
I mean, you did say 10.
Yeah. Because that means we got 2 more cases next. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's Mischief Monday. What?
Nothing, just breathing.
There is 2 people I want to raid into, so let me see if one of them is available, because they've notoriously sometimes had their raids thing turned off.
I mean, have you talked to them about it?
Nah, they're like very protective of their things now.
Ora?
Why would we want to raid England? It's too rainy. Oh yeah, they're available. Sophia. I've raided her to a while. Yeah, but if England's too rainy to raid, so I'm going to raid into Sophia. And I want you all to have a good night. Tomorrow I'm going to be playing a little bit of cleanup for Clear Up Score 33. And then Wednesday I'm going to try and actually finish it off. Anything you want to say, Rena, before we go?
Come to my charity event. I'm off Tuesday, but I'm gonna do it all the rest of the week.
Ah. Alright. And once again, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, and I will see you all tomorrow. Even though most of y'all will probably be at work. See ya.
Bye.